HIA is really proud to be part of this program, and as well as supporting people through the registration process, we'll be providing technical support through bricklaying, framing and different waterproofing education units, as well as financial stability, financial acumen and commercial units that teach aspiring builders about the contract needs that they need to be aware of when entering into a home building contract. We're really excited about this program. We think that it's going to make a massive difference, and when combined with fee-free TAFE, apprentice incentives, employer incentives, and now benefits to help more builders into the industry, only good things will come and the capacity of the industry will be increased as a result. Thank you.
Matt?
Thank you. Thank you, Minister, and thank you, Michael. This will help put boots on the ground, and that's what we're talking about. We really need to increase supply. This will help builders navigate the system of becoming registered. People who are interested in becoming a builder come to us, and we can now provide advice and help them guide them through the process. The NBA has called all along that to deal with the housing crisis, we need to focus on supply, and that is more registered builders, it's more apprentices, it's more carpenters, it's more brickies, like we see on the site here today. The issues around housing are great, but I think a united front with the government and with industry bodies will help move the dial. I think it's incredibly important that this program gets off the ground. It will make a tangible difference, and we keep commenting in the NBA that we need pragmatic policies that make a difference, and this is a pragmatic policy. And we thank the government for their initiative in relation to this. Minister?
Okay. Me or either Matt and Michael?
Well, is there any danger that this will result in sort of fast-tracking builders onto the register? There's been concerns about dodgy builders in the past. You've been tightening the rules around that, but now to rush more builders onto the register, are they up to it?
Well, it's nothing about rushing anyone. It's actually to help those that are capable of being registered builders, to help them through that process, as Michael and Matt have alluded to, that they're very busy doing their day job, and often they don't get time to do the paperwork. This is really not, this is about helping them through that paperwork process to be a registered builder, but also to support those that are already in the industry today. So it's nothing about fast tracking, it's about ensuring that those that are capable of being registered builders do become registered builders, and those that are on the registered building list receive extra training and support if they need to.
Is the problem, though, less a shortage of builders and more a shortage of the tradies?
Well, we always would like more people in the workforce system, but there are a number of tradies that have the capacity to be registered builders, and you need to be a registered builder to build homes, and that's what this support program will do. As Matt and Michael have said, this is a practical program. It is something that we are really excited to work in partnership with the two peak organisations here, the HIA and the NBA, who do great work in the industry. And this program, it's really very practical, provides tangible benefit for those that want to be registered builders, and also to provide stability and guidance for those that are registered builders. So basically, it's about boosting and increasing the capability of the building industry in Western Australia.
Have you got any update on Dan Caddy's review of the regulations and what direction that's heading in, what might need to change?
So when we announced that a few months ago, there was two parts to it. There was legislation that's being drafted to ensure that the regulators have greater powers to compel builders that may be susceptible to financial troubles to hand over their financial records. That is being processed through the department now, and legislation's been drafted. That is one aspect, and then there's a Dan Caddy review. There was a survey put out to clients and others in the industry for their views. I believe that was very well taken up. So there's a great data and information that's collected through that survey. So that's going through the process, and look forward to the review coming to a conclusion next year.
When next year?
Well, I think it's about mid next year.
Minister, just quickly on other matters.
Well, do you want any questions for? You've got two outstanding people here, so ask them questions.
Matt, you spoke about a united front. Is it really a united front when John Kerry was yesterday rubbishing your figures about construction costs?
I think we were talking about two different figures. I think we were comparing apples with oranges. So we were referring to the price it costs to buy a house now for owner-occupiers compared to 2019, and the figure we have is around 80%. So that's the ABS data. We've looked into it in detail, and I think we're talking about apples and oranges, to be honest.
So is the Housing Minister in denial about how much construction costs have increased?
I think the construction costs have increased. Everyone acknowledges that. And we need to work in a united way to increase supply. The issue is supply. If we do demand-side incentives, it'll just push prices up. You have less than 3,000 houses on the market, and it takes about 15 months to build a house. We need to do better at that, and the NBA is committed to achieving that.
Well done. Yeah, that's right.
So we are committed to improving those figures, but we're only going to improve them when we deliver pragmatic policies. We need to have more apprentices. We need to increase the GTO wage subsidy. We need to get more builders registered. This is about quality builders, and the NBA is committed to having quality builders because we don't want insolvencies. Consumers need confidence in the market, and this is what this program will deliver.
So have you had a conversation with Minister Carey since yesterday?
No, I haven't spoken to the Minister, but he's hard-working and he's pragmatic, and I have no doubt that he'll put in place good measures at the next year's budget.
How many more builders do you think can be registered under this, and is the test for whether this is worth it improving those dwelling approval rates?
Well, to be a registered builder, you've got to be qualified, and the NBA does qualifications, and so it's not easy to become a registered builder. It takes time, but we need to get more tradies in the system so more builders can become registered. So we need more carpenters, we need more bricklayers. That's the critical thing right now. We need to have more people learn a trade, become a builder. That increases the number of houses that can be built. The other thing we need to focus on is increasing land supply, cutting red tape, increasing the number of plans that go through. Too many times we hear the planning system gets bogged down. So we are committed to dealing with those issues, and I know the state government is as well.
Michael, can I just quickly ask you, and done, Jess, sorry. The September quarter figures weren't great for dwelling approvals. Will this help turn that around?
In the short term, it's definitely going to help build the capacity of the industry. I think we're on a really consistent plateau at the moment as far as home building goes, and to get us to that next level and increase the capacity of the industry and see those approvals continue to grow, we need more people getting their builders registration and starting to take on more jobs.
I mean, if it's a construction plateau, that's just going to result in going backwards, isn't it, as the population continues to grow? So is it worse than a plateau?
No, I think we're going to continue to grow by about 10% every year. I think, when we look at the number of apprentices coming through, the increases in skilled migration that we're seeing within the trade capacity, we are going to grow that pool. We're seeing advanced manufacturing come into the industry, which is going to quicken the volume of houses that each builder can produce. And by adding more builders to the pipeline and to the capacity of the industry, that will only increase, I guess, the short and the long-term outlook for WA's construction industry.
Other issues? Minister, I know it's not your portfolio anymore, but it was until March. Education. What is it called? The State of Our Schools survey. It paints a pretty damning picture. Union claiming the education system's at breaking point because about 93% of teachers say that student behaviours become harder to deal with, and 83% reported an increase in learning difficulties. Is your government failing on education?
Well, the survey you referred to is a national survey by the National Union, so that's the national figure. I think it did say in that there was maybe 50%, just over 50% of principals that alluded to a difficult situation they have encountered this year. Look, it's a very challenging profession, but a great profession. I know last year we cemented the deal with the federal government for a massive increase in funding. I think my memory may escape me here, but I think it was $1.6 billion investment in public education over the next 10 years. And because WA signed the agreement, the Better and Fairer Schools agreement earlier, we got an additional bonus. So there is a lot more money being pumped into the system. Teachers received a 12% pay rise in the last agreement that was signed. Other supports as well, retention schemes, and also we have been at the forefront in Australia of rolling out full service schools. They are whereby you use the school as a base or as a fulcrum or a focus to bring in allied services to help with those students that need additional help. So look. It is a profession, that is has many challenges to it. It's a great profession, but the state government, in collaboration with the federal minister Jason Clare, I think is one of the best federal education ministers in my living memory, are really working very, very hard to ensure that we have a world-class public education system. No doubt, though, I acknowledge there are many challenges, and we're seeking to address that through innovative methods.
That you said 1.6 billion. Is that already flowing, or is that?
Yeah, that's already flowing. Yeah.
On higher education, have you got any update on the review underway and the potential of university mergers?
Well, the review you're referring to, Jess, is the review being headed by Alana Mateenan, the Honourable Alana Mateenan. That is going through a process at the moment, and that hopefully will reach my table in the next few months.
Why haven't the terms of reference been released?
The parties that are part of the parties that are being interviewed, those that need to make submissions, have been brought before the committee, have those terms of reference, and basically it's just about the feasibility of our tertiary education system.
So can the terms of reference be released?
Oh, look, we'll see about that, Jess.
Is governance part of the review?
No, the governance is an interesting one because, as you know, the federal government, through Jason Clare, have been really focusing on governance of universities. Look, there's no doubt our university system is facing a social licence challenge. Very much so, and I think I commend the federal government and Jason Clare for looking into the governance of universities. I was an academic for about 14 years, a great profession. University system is so important to the future economic and social and cultural future of Western Australia and Australia, so it's important that that governance is looked at. I addressed the chancellors from around Australia at a meeting in Perth about 2 weeks ago where I talked about that. So it's not germane to the feasibility study that we are looking at, but it's part of it, but the federal government are driving the governance review.
You've been on the record backing the principle of a university merger in WA. Do you still think it's necessary?
I don't think I said I backed the principle. I said that we need to look at what's the best structure going forward, and that we would always need to at least have 2 universities in Western Australia. Now, there's been a recent merger in South Australia. I've been over there. I've seen their merger. By all accounts, it's going to be a major boost for the state of South Australia, and we've got to ensure that our tertiary sector is working for Western Australia and Western Australians.
Just on GST, the Premier and Treasurer have this morning said that they're confident after meeting with the Prime Minister that he still backs WA's 75-cent floor. Do you trust the Prime Minister at his word? Well,
I do, and also once Premier Cook and also Treasurer Saviotti were over there meeting him, he would be left with no illusion that we are, or mistaken, that we are very, very committed to ensuring that GST agreement stays in place because it's incredibly important for West Australia, but it's also important for the nation because we drive the national economy.
So if you take the Prime Minister at his word, why do WA taxpayers need to spend $1 million on an ad campaign?
Oh, that's not about trying to convince Prime Minister Albanese. That's trying to convince many of the other people over the eastern seaboard. I mean,
but the Prime Minister makes the decision.
Well, he does, but we want to make sure that everyone else that he may be listening to understand the story of how important that this agreement is complied with and continues.
Do you back the use of taxpayers' money to prop up the establishment of the Perth Bears?
Well, it's interesting in regards to that. The money that's being spent on the Bears is money that's going to be spent in Western Australia. That's where it's being spent. It's been spent in Western Australia. There's a number of aspects to that. There's also part of that, as former Education Minister, is a rollout of development programs in our school system. We have a number of rugby league specialised schools at the moment. In regards to the development at the Wacker and the water bank, that was always going to happen at the water bank. It was determined after geotechnical studies that it wasn't appropriate for housing. It was going to be put into playing fields. So this is a perfect opportunity. Yes, the Bears will have first option at it, but it'll be used by Trinity College and other communities as that area grows in residents. So the money that is being spent by the WA taxpayer is being spent in Western Australia.
Any other questions?
Did you have any comments about the looming social media ban that's coming up?
It's interesting you asked that because I was asked that question this morning. I did a presentation at Armidale Senior High School. I was asked by a 15-year-old student. I support it. I do support it. I mean, I'm not saying it's 100% perfect, and I'm not sure about the compliance aspect to it, but I've seen people come to my electorate office, and I know as former Education Minister that the harm that's been, the harm that social media has done for many, many young people, it's actually tragic of some of the people, the consequence of the bullying that's taken place on social media. So yes, there are people that are for and against it, but as a principle and as a public policy, I'm in favour of it.
And just lastly, did you have any more comments about the niche living as well?
I don't have any more comments. As you know, the government reached an agreement that enable clients that were clients of niche living to be able to access their insurance claim under the QBE in regards to complaints. Recent complaints, I believe only one complaint's been made about plumbing. That's been investigated by the department, and as I say, if anyone else has complaints, they should let the regulator know.